Hi geographers, welcome to your introduction to the unit on place and livability, our unit for geography for this term. We're going to use my place and livability website teaching resource. If you want the link to this particular website, check out the description below as well. So this video we're going to cover our first lesson, the introduction to the unit. It's the job of any good geography teacher to show you places around the world and teach you about what makes them appealing and what makes them less appealing. During this unit, be thinking about what makes places more or less livable for people, and think about some of the places you might like to travel to in the future when you get older as well. That's the true gem of geography, to be able to show you places around the world and places you might like to go and see. Some guiding questions for the unit. So we want you to be thinking about these over our next couple of lessons as well. So why do people's perceptions of the livability of places vary? What effect does environmental quality have and access to services have on people's well-being? How can strong community identity and social connectedness enhance the livability of places? What approaches can be used to improve the livability of places? And what makes a society livable? As a class, our first task is going to be to come up with some definitions of place and livability. So what do we mean when we say the word place? And what do we mean when we say the word livability? We're going to explore that together. So livability is essentially how likely or less likely you are to live in a place due to certain reasons. So how much you would like to live there or how much you wouldn't like to live in a certain place. What makes places more or less livable and why? Your first task is going to be to watch these two videos here. So the video on the left is the top 10 most livable cities for 2016. And be thinking about what this video is judging these places on. And then secondly here, think about what this video is judging them on. Now, we've got the top 10 most beautiful cities in the world. So we're going to have a different top 10 list. And I want you to be thinking about why when you're watching these two videos. Now, your main task for this lesson. So you'll be given a worksheet. It has a blank map and a blank table on it. Use the top 10 most livable cities data below here for 2019 to fill in the table. And you also want to plot the location of these cities on the map as well. You'll need to use Google Maps for that as well. You also need to put in the latitude and longitude of each city. Now, what is latitude and longitude? It's something you're going to see in your study of geography over high school. So latitude and longitude is a coordinate system by means of which the position or location of any place on the Earth's surface can be determined and described. You've probably seen it before or heard of it before as well. Latitude is a number that means how far north or south a position is away from the equator, and longitude is how far east or west the position is away from the prime meridian. If you've seen the second Thor movie, they have a big fight in Greenwich, which is where the prime meridian is located. So how far east or west of that, and how far north and south of the equator as well. I always remember latitude is flatitude as well. It's the flat lines. So I'll show you how to do this worksheet now. I'm just going to open it in a new tab, and I'm going to open it into Google Docs. I'm going to start with the table, okay? So we've got 4 columns here. We've got rank, city, latitude, and longitude. So in rank, what I'm going to scroll down to my data here. Now, the first city is Melbourne, and it's ranked number 1. It got number 1 for the most livable cities in the world for 2019. Now I need to find the latitude and longitude of Melbourne. So all I'm going to do on Google is go latitude and longitude of Melbourne. So the latitude is 37.8 degrees south. So I'm just going to put that into there. And the longitude is 144 degrees east of the prime meridian. We'll do the second one as well, guys. So I'll go back into my data here on the website. All right, the city that's second is Vienna, Austria. So I'm going to put in 2 on here, and I'm going to go Vienna. Now I'm going to leave my Google tab open, and I'm just going to backspace Melbourne and put in Vienna. So we've got 48 degrees north, so we can see this one is north of the equator. It's in the northern hemisphere. We've got 16 degrees east. That's actually not very far east at all. All right, so we can see latitude always ends in north or south because it's how far north or south of the equator that location is. So we can see Vienna is 48 degrees north and Melbourne is 37 degrees south. So we can tell what hemisphere it's in. Vienna is in the northern hemisphere and Melbourne is in the southern hemisphere. We can see both our locations are east of the Greenwich Meridian line. So we've got longitude for Melbourne is 144 degrees east. We've got 16 degrees east for Vienna as well. And you use these locations here to continue to fill out that table. Now, what you need to do next, I'm actually going to go back into Melbourne. I'm going to put it on the map, use Google Maps. This is your second job for the table. So all you've got to do in a pencil, just draw a dot and then a label saying where your city is. So I'm going to scroll out for Melbourne so I can see to the bottom of Australia, Victoria. So what I do in a pencil, I just put a dot there and write Melbourne. Let's find Vienna as well. We've got Vienna, Austria. I'm going to scroll out as well. So I can see it's in Europe. It's next to Germany and Hungary. So I need to go on my map up here and chuck it in there. So I draw a dot, maybe in red would be a good one, and then write the label Vienna as well. You need to do that for every location you put in the table. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Remember, if you want to stay updated to any of my website teaching resources, any changes I make, or any new videos I create, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys for our next lesson, for our introduction on place and livability, how we measure livability.